The creative writing concentration at the University of Memphis offers an undergraduate Bachelor of Arts and a Master of Fine Arts degree. Students at either level may choose to focus their study on poetry, fiction, or creative nonfiction. We have an active faculty and student body who publish internationally.
Memphis has been an influence on my own work. One of the stories that I wrote is based on the case of the West Memphis Three. I've been honored by how much attention that story has gained. One of our recent graduates is Courtney Santo. Her thesis is a novel that is so good, it was picked up by an agent and by the publisher William Morrow in a 2-book deal that shows the kind of ambition and ability that our students have.
In addition to working closely with student writers in workshop settings, our faculty also help students enter the profession by providing opportunities to actively participate in all areas of writing, from editing a major literary journal to hosting acclaimed authors in our River City Writer Series, to participating in one of several student reading series in the Memphis area. Faculty members also escort graduate students to conferences such as the Association of Writers and Writing Programs and the Southern Festival of Books. The Pinch is an award-winning nationally distributed literary journal that publishes a broad spectrum of established and emerging writers and artists. Contributors include Margaret Atwood, John Ashbery, Robert Penn Warren, and many others.
Students have the opportunity to read and edit the selections for The Pinch. At least one essay from that magazine has been chosen for the prestigious series Best American Essays.
I started as a reader for The Pinch, basically chugging through the slush pile, trying to find good poetry and nonfiction and fiction stories for the issue. I later became the art editor, which was also a really great experience. Combined some of my interests in photography and design and fine arts.
The River City Writer Series is one of the oldest and most prestigious in the country. Visitors have included Gwendolyn Brooks, John Updike, Seamus Heaney, and many others.
Writers of international stature come to campus. Students have the opportunity to hear them read and to interview them, have the chance to have a conversation with that person and ask questions. And students have the opportunity to organize and publicize those events.
And I've actually been fortunate enough to interview one of my personal favorite writers, so that was very exciting for me. It's really a great opportunity to sort of interface in a very sort of intimate setting with these writers who you normally wouldn't have access to. It's always been really inspiring and helpful to be exposed to a lot of working artists, whether that's writers, visual artists. It's very inspirational to see people actually making their dreams into a career and to get to learn from them and from the value of their experience.
Creative writing students have the opportunity to study and practice their art in Alicante, Spain during the season of their Fiesta of San Juan.
The courses are taught in English, but you have the opportunity to experience Spanish culture, Spanish cuisine, to live with a family if you like, and there's a wonderful summer festival that involves probably the biggest fireworks display on the Mediterranean, maybe in the world.
Students take many side trips to small coastal and interior villages to encourage breadth in their original creative works.
We emphasize literary realism in fiction. We also encourage our students to look for the strangeness, the exotic, the odd in everyday life, since there's so much that's extraordinary.
A friend of mine is a graduate of the program, and he told me a lot of wonderful things about it. My class with Dr. Iverson, I look back on that as like a defining moment as far as learning actually the craft of constructing a story, because she made us think about things like repetition of verbs, how dialogue could say tons that just plain old exposition could not. Through all the creative writing classes I've had, like even prior to coming here, these were things that were just never talked about.
There's a big emphasis on the workshop model here. It's always really interesting to hear your work being discussed in a workshop format. We sort of take for granted when we're in a writing program like this that you have this built-in audience of people that are really interested in writing and helping you improve, but in the outside world, it's not always so easy to come by. And it's so helpful to have this sort of test audience that you can try out new ideas on, get their opinion, see what you're doing well, what you need to work on. One of the nice things about the University of Memphis's program is that you are encouraged actually to sort of dabble outside of your chosen genre. So I've taken quite a few poetry classes, some nonfiction, and gotten to experiment with a lot of different forms. And I've actually grown to really love writing poetry, and probably wouldn't have taken the time to explore it as completely as I would if it wasn't so encouraged.
I have zero experience writing poetry. Well, I have some now after I took Sonia Livingston's class. She made me look at poetry in a way that was helpful to my writing. She taught how to leverage collective knowledge as far as visual and audio representations of the world are concerned, and I really like that.
The philosophy here is definitely that it's always great to be a reader, to be imitative up to a point of the writers that you like, but the most important thing is to find a way to express yourself as an individual writer.
Memphis, Tennessee is known for its rich musical history. While we may be the birthplace of rock and roll, we aren't singing the blues about our art scene.
There seems to be a high correlation among our students between their writing ability and musical talent, so maybe that's just the Memphis atmosphere.
Memphis is really a perfect place to be a writer.
We have a vibrant and active arts community perfect for nurturing up-and-coming writers. In a city known for its distinctive voices, let us help you find yours.